So what I'm about to talk about is kind of pretty old shit at this point. Is like what, half a year ago. But I kind of wanted to touch up on this because I didn't really see anyone ever talk about this, probably because it was so fucking stupid. So the clip popping up in question on my For You page again for some reason is of Tom McDonald. Now, when I first saw the clip like 6 months ago, I didn't know who the fuck that was, and I still don't know who the fuck this person is. I pulled up Tom McDonald's Spotify up just now just to listen to some of his music. Okay, bro. This guy is a definition of, he's just a fucking cornball. And I say this because Spotify actually lets you, if you're an artist, it lets you customize your own profile description. For example, there are a lot of big artists who have Spotify write their own descriptions. So someone like Marvin Gaye and the OJs have their own descriptions written entirely by Spotify. But there's artists out there who actually write their own, such as Ozzy Osbourne, who, well, he wrote his own description. But it seems that Tom McDonald has written his own. 3 words. 2 of them are true, and the third one is... I'm not even gonna say anything. Artist, producer, and visionary. Yeah, bro, you're a real visionary. I'm sorry for clowning on this man, but I mean... it's kind of hard not to, you know. If someone self-proclaims himself as a visionary, most likely they aren't, and they're just fucking insane. Now, I'm not saying Tom McDonald is crazy, but from what I know so far about him individually, he's kind of a fucking nut job. But that actually brings me to the clip in question. Oh god, this clip is this clip is something else, I'll tell you that. Tom McDonald is a 34 or 35-year-old man making apt comparisons of my generation versus your generation. So first off, I want to say, why the fuck are we comparing generations? This fucking idiot is 34 years old, and he's 34 years old, and he's making these types of comparisons. He's a fucking... okay, if he was like 60 or older, I think I would get it, because, you know, some people are like, well, back in my day, no, it's like whatever. But this man is 34 years old. He's literally in the prime of his life, and he's making these apt comparisons. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I could literally make a fucking 30-minute video dissecting all the dumbass things this cornball has said in this fucking video, but I don't... it's so cringy, man.
My generation got our driver's license at 14, had a job at 16, and moved out at 17.
First thing he says is that his generation got his driver's license at 14. No, you didn't. You grew up in Alberta, Canada. You got your learner's permit at 14, and then you got your license at 16, maybe. Your learner's permit let you drive with your fucking parents. That's it. Nothing else. Like, what the fuck are you doing out here?
Had a job at 16 and moved out at 17.
Having a job at 16, that's pretty impressive, considering, you know, you're going to school, you're holding down a job, you're doing all that shit. You know, most of the people I knew, they were holding down a job at 16, and, you know, they were going to school. Moving out at 17, it's kind of bullshit, unless you're using daddy's money, but I'm pretty sure that's actually illegal, even in Alberta, Canada. You can't move out at the age of 17. I think I could be wrong.
Your generation is still trying to define what a woman is and living in your parents' basement until you're 35.
Every fucking time there's a video of one of these fucking cornballs with this stupid ass, oh, well, your generation is trying to define what this, and this is. Nobody's sitting out here trying to define what a woman is. People are just trying to get accepted for who they are. I don't think that's that difficult to really sit down and understand. Also, the fucking living in your mother's basement at the age of 35. That happens literally in every generation. Yeah, it happens now, but it's happened then, it's happened way before, and it's happened way before. There's literally no changing that. You're just being a dick for no reason. Before I get into the next point, actually, my brain keeps like listening to the background music of this video, and if you listen to it, it's like a stock rock background music effect. Like this, I don't even know how to describe it. Just like, don't pay attention to his words. Just listen to the background music.
My generation got our driver's license at 14, had a job at 16, and moved out at 17. Your generation is still trying to define what a woman is and living in your parents' basement until you're 35. My generation grew up on uncensored everything. Your generation...
Like, what the fuck is this? Okay, on to the next point.
My generation grew up on uncensored everything. Your generation censors everything.
Actually, statistically speaking, things were more censored back then, but just different areas were censored. Now there's a lot of the racism and the super negative shit is censored, which is understandable. But now there's I don't get, this dude is literally fighting ghosts right now. Like, who is he? Who is this motherfucker talking to? You know how in GTA when like you try to punch somebody, but like you kick the air and you start like swinging at the air? That's what this fucking dude is doing metaphorically. He's literally just punching at air. He's doing nothing.
My generation shot guns, rode dirt bikes, and went camping for fun. Your generation stares at your phone all day and dances on the internet in your sister's underwear.
My generation shot guns and went camping. Yeah, people still do that all the time. It's just like some people have found different hobbies. There's way more shit to do now than there was then. And he's like, oh, well, you sit in your room, you stare at your phone, and you dance in your sister's underwear. Who the fuck cares if someone dances in their sister's underwear? Granted, if it's your sister's underwear, that's weird. But if it's some whole ass dude dancing in some panties, who the fuck cares, man? It's 2023. This fucking cornball's over here like, oh, you're a gay person. You're one of them homosexuals because you dance in your sister's underwear. Also, what this dude is speaking from is just anecdotal experience, which is fine, but he's just being such a dick about it. He's like, we shot guns and rode dirt bikes. I know plenty of people who still do that shit on the regular. I've been invited to camping trips. Camping's not my thing personally because I fucking hate bugs. Can't with bugs. That's why I don't camp. That's why I have other hobbies. That's why I work out and I do shit like that because it suits me personally.
My generation knew how to make decisions, important ones. Your generation can't even decide which bathroom to use.
Your generation could make decisions, important ones. Well, I fucking apparently not. This dude's generation was literally sitting there trying to figure out how to censor fucking shit like rock music. Like they sat there for literal decades trying to figure out how to censor rock music. Like, that's not making an important decision. Your generation can't even decide what bathroom to use. Like, shut the fuck up. Who are you talking to? Like, I get it. Like, there are some people who struggle with gender identity and they want to use different bathrooms. That's fine in some places, not around where I live, but I know in like some places there are gender neutral bathrooms, which I have mixed feelings about, but it's whatever. Like, who the fuck cares? They just go like, oh, I was born a male. I guess I'll just, even though I identify as a woman, I'll just use the men's restroom because that seems like common courtesy. Like, this is almost never an issue. Like, what the fuck is this dude on here talking about?
Generation wants the truth and the facts, no matter how uncomfortable they are. Your generation is so offended that the truth and the facts don't support whatever outlandish bull is floating around in your imagination that you've started labeling everything that you don't agree with as misinformation.
This point is just borderline fucking stupid. In the history of fucking forever, there has been so many people who just ignore facts. It's a part of every generation, and it will continue to be part of every future generation to come. That's just how it is. But he's just pushing this ideology onto like, oh, you're Gen Z. Like, I don't get it, man.
My generation has 2 genders. Your generation has 89,347. And counting.
My generation has 2 genders. Yours has 89,347 and counting. Who cares? Like, who the fuck cares, honestly? Listen,
My generation judges people on whether or not they're an asshole. Your generation judges people on race, weight, religion, sex, gender, financial standing, something that they tweeted 20 years ago in grade 8 when they were drunk for the first time.
I think he might have gotten his words mixed up. Technically, more so back in this dude's generation, quote unquote, when he was being brought up, people were being judged for their religion, race, sex, sexual orientation more than anything. It's like how people who partook in homosexuality were condemned, like even way back then. Or people who weren't like hardcore Catholics or Christians were somewhat looked down upon. Like, this is like really basic history shit. I don't know how you fuck it up that bad.
Your generation cancels everything you don't agree with. My generation doesn't give a about the things we don't agree with.
This is the last one I'm gonna cover because this one is probably the fucking silliest on this list. Yeah, cancel culture is a thing, but cancel culture has always been a thing. You look back on how like everyone tried to cancel rock music for obscure and dirty lyrics, shit like that, man. It's like cancel culture has always existed to a degree. And he's like, we don't give a fuck about the things we don't agree with. If you listen to any of this man's discography, it's literally all him complaining about the things that he doesn't agree with. Like, it's so stupid. Anyway, that's all I want us to talk about. See ya.